y'all. Welcome to season 3 of No Tea, Just Coffee.
Wow.
We are in that thing.
Wow, really? Season 3?
I mean, y'all.
We here.
Here to stay, okay? So, as you can see, we are excited. Greg, say hey. Greg. We back, y'all. Greg, he's still rocking with us, amen. We still got the nice setup and everything with production. So we ready to hit the road running with season 3. So let's get into this topic. The topic is the curse and blessing of being the strong friend.
Oh, boy.
Tam and I talk about this all the time. We are the strong friend of our friend group. Yep. And it is a blessing, but it can be a curse because of the weight.
Yep.
So we're going to get into that. And then, poor Wendy.
I know, bless her heart.
Tam had me watch this documentary, and I put it off. And it hurt my heart, but I think we need to get into it. So that's going to be our shoot the shit. And then we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So, I forgot to say, for the newcomers.
Oh.
Okay.
Hello. Hi. First off,
hey
how you doing?
Jordan here.
Tam.
All right. No tea, just coffee. We forgot to do the intro. So the first part of the podcast episode is called the meat and potatoes. And that's when we get into the nitty gritty. And then shoot the shit is our second part, where it can be serious, but it's sometimes a little mess. But, you know, that's why it's no tea, no messiness, just coffee, good conversation. So, okay, so I had to do that for the newcomers. And welcome. Keep coming back and see us again. So, the strong friend. What do we feel about that? How do you feel about that, Tam, being a strong friend of your friend group?
I think it's one of those things where, first off, it's not like you ask for it, like you have been,
badge of honor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all just about like who you are, your personality, and just I guess maybe how you really handle certain situations. And for me, I am known as like the strong friend or the go-to, the go-to person in my friend group. And how do I feel about it? I don't know. I mean, I have moments where like I just feel like in general, as that person, you kind of have moments where you feel honored, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right word, but you're like, real. That says a lot. Like you are the person like people call and you kind of know almost all the tea, if you will. And you hold on to it too.
You do. The gatekeeper.
I am the gatekeeper.
Yes.
Nobody knows that I know this and
that's exactly right.
This, that, and the third. But there can be moments with that where like if it's like all of your friends at the same time, I think that's where it starts to become like
a bit much.
The curse, if you will. Like it's just it can be a lot, especially if it's like heavy stuff. Yes. Not like he he made me upset when
the small tea.
Yeah, the small stuff. But like if someone is maybe really going through hard times, but if it's all of your friends, on the same, I guess, journey at the same time, and they're coming to you with that info, it can be a lot. It can be a lot, especially if you're an empath.
And you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Yes.
I'm a huge empath. So it's kind of like, what do I do with all of these emotions?
Yep.
And unfortunately, my poor husband, like sometimes I release some of that, like frustration, or sometimes I shut down because I'm processing all of what has happened for each one of my friends. And I'm trying to make sure the advice is right, and I'm trying to make sure I'm available. But I do think being the strong friend, and it's not on purpose, I think our friends do forget sometimes that we are human. Like we do have our own things going on, but I don't know if masking is the right word, but we mask it so well, we handle it so well that the overwhelming part comes when you're trying to deal with your own stuff. And also process what your friends are going through and give them advice and be there and be instrumental in making sure they make the right decisions. But hell, we trying to make our own decisions in our lives too.
I was going to say and again, not intentional, right? But I do like with being that person, it's almost like you are they forget to just ask you like, what's going on with you, friend? How are you doing? What's, because
as soon as you say hello,
right. And then when they're done, it's like, all right, well, I'll like, well, thanks.
Hold on. You know that cartoon where the bird is flying over the head because then it got hit over the head, and it's like birds flying over because you like, you dizzy with everything that they just said, and then I'm so overloaded.
All right, and unfortunately, our significant others, now they're the ones that got to hear not just mine, but you also about to hear
about Kim, Keisha, Amber, all these people. And they're like, well, I didn't ask for it either. But that is true. And again, I think it is an honor because we have learned how to navigate life and wear kind of this body of armor. But as you get older, and for me, as I've gotten older, like I am what they call like the soft phase or the whatever phase it is where you're not having to be so hard, but it's hard to let off the gas knowing that you are that friend.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
I want to go back to, because this is actually just recently, you can relate to this, like recent.
Yeah.
On like how do you, like, what do you do when it's overwhelming for you as that person?
Right.
And just recently, Jordan was kind of going through something similar to, and, Jordan can only take so much, right? And then she's like, I'm done. I can't, and so for me, I was just telling her, like, sometimes, like, we have to be selfish.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to be, whether that means you limit the calls or something that you receive, or
shut your phone off,
whatever
put it
is.
On do not disturb.
Whatever it is, like, you do have to be selfish, and you have to think about yourself. If it really is starting to become too much for you, you gotta
Boundaries.
step away. You gotta step away. Yep.
And with that conversation, my sister even jokes at me because she's like, I know you may not answer the phone after a certain hour. Like even Greg has said, like, after 9, I know Jordan ain't gonna answer. But that really has been me trying to protect my peace of mind because I can't. 9 times out of 10, a friend is gonna call me and we're gonna get into what they got going on.
Right.
But at a certain hour, I need to decompress from just my day, and I may be having things to go through. So I need to have my peace of mind so that I can rest well.
Yeah.
Because when you are an empath, it's hard to sleep because you're thinking about trying to save the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're trying to think about, how does my friend navigate this? Yep. And, the unfortunate part is, life happens, and a couple of my friends are going through some really heavy life decisions and times. And they lean on me, which it is an honor. Yeah. But it also means that I'm taking in a lot of that emotions and those life decisions, and it bothers me.
Now, because I think there's also levels to it too. Yeah. Like, do you feel like you're also like the one that has to give them the right piece of advice? Like, for me, I don't know if I feel like I'm that person more so than just the person.
Like the listening ear?
The listening ear. And every now and again, there might be situations where, it's me giving my opinion or advice on something. But I personally don't feel like that has been my role of like that the advice giver more so than just like the person to vent to to lean on. And again, depending on the situation, of course, like giving some, my opinion or advice. But it kind of sounds like you might be more of like that go-to person for like advice on what to do.
I think it's a mixed bag because some of my friends, we've been friends dang near my whole life, like since high school, since middle school. Yeah. Some of my friends, and I literally call my friends sisters because I've been like the big sister of the group. They call me the mom of the group because I always looked out for my friends. Right. Like, and it's an honor to do that. But some of my friends, it really is. And even my sister, it really is like a listening ear. Yep. So I think it is a mixed bag. But I think it also has to do with the fact of what they're going through.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we have our fights and, disagreements with our significant other, I'm just gonna be a listening ear.
Right.
But when somebody's making a complete life change, changing, decision or whatever, I do feel obligated to like really take in and figure out like, what do I need to tell this person? Right. That's what bothers me probably the most. Is like, I don't want to give them the wrong advice, and I also don't want to not be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a friend. I do have a friend. She'll call me and she'll be like, Tam, so I know you're more level-headed than me. So, and I know you're going to tell me the truth. So like, I guess it does depend on the situation and the person. Cause she does all the time. Like, I know you're going to tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong. And I'm like, yeah, I will. So.
Well, and that also, to go off of like, some of the tension has been relieved because like Tam didn't need me to be her big sis. Mm-hmm. Like, our friendship is mutual in the sense of what am I trying to say? Like, we can share things and I don't feel obligated to give you the right advice. I can be a listening ear and vice versa.
But I think that is because we are
the strong friend.
We're right. So like, we just understand, like,
that's true, right?
But that is, so, and I can even say that with one of my best friends. Yeah, it's the same way with her and I, because I am like, I would say I am more of like the go-to. I need to vent. Let me tell you, da 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 da, and this, that, and the third. Every now and again, maybe some advice, whatever. Now, my best friend, I would say she's like, I need to know what to do. So let me call her. Like, she's more of kind of that person, but like with me and my best friend, we're the same way. Like, when we call and talk to each other, there's no feel, at least for me, I don't feel like
you're obligated.
I'm obligated,
I feel that way too, like, and then sometimes it depends too, like with one of my friends, it really is, I just need to vent. Yes. I really don't need no advice.
That's it.
And you can sometimes tell, like, oh, she don't want me to.
Right.
Because she didn't, as soon as I said hello, she done went on for 30 minutes and she like, okay, well.
Now I like, if I do, I will be like, okay, so I need your opinion. Like,
yes, you do that. You do that. Yeah. That's true.
I will actually say, this is what I need. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm like, girl, let me, like, and then I'll just go ahead and go.
Get into it. Yeah. I mean, I think it definitely stems from, and I also too, I think I have taken on that role as a personal choice too, because of the way that I grew up. Mm-hmm. I had to grow up fast. I had to be very independent. I had to make life decisions really early. So I think like I'm naturally a caretaker of people in my life. Yep. Like I'm going to look at you and say, how can we make your life better? Yeah. How can I give you good advice? Yeah. Because one thing about me, I don't speak on something that I'm not sure about. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm taking into account who you are, what you got going on. Right. And I am an empath. So I'm reading your body language and energy. Yep. So I just feel like I do enjoy giving advice. I actually enjoy having, that like deep conversations. Yes. So I think naturally people gravitate towards that. Mm-hmm. But I think the older I get, not the less, but I'm just like, I have to navigate my boundaries better because I do get tired. I get mentally drained and tired. Yeah. And that's nobody's fault. And I've built really good relationships where people can trust me. And we just talked about that. Like, we the vault. Whatever you tell me, I'm not running around telling your business. And
you will never know that I know something about something else.
That's right.
You will never know. Like, and then when it comes out, it's like, so you knew the whole time?
Yes, I
sure did.
But it's not my business
It's not my business, not my place.
And I'm not a judgmental person. Nope. You can tell me anything. Yep. And even if I have an opinion up here, I'm not going to share it with you because it's not even the time nor the place, or you ain't asking for that, So I just think we've learned how to navigate that.
Okay, I have a question. Yeah. Because this did happen to me one time. Have you ever, like, has there ever been a moment where you started to feel like you weren't that person?
What you mean?
And then you kind of got into your feelings?
Like they went to someone else?
Yeah. But But like, I'm over here complaining about it. But how dare you? I didn't say we did not break up, okay?
Like, I'm still here.
Right. How dare you go to somebody else?
You cheating on me. Don't do that. I don't know if I have or not, but
so thinking about that,
I can understand.
How would you feel? And you like, oh yeah, so you just gonna up and leave me like this?
I might have a little feeling about it, right. Especially if it's like Jess. Like, we always go to each other about, right. You know what I mean? If she go to somebody else, it might be like, well, why you?
Right, your feelings might be like, did
I do something wrong? Why you tell her first? She's like, I was talking to you. Like, well, why you talking to her? You ain't told me nothing. And that is it, because like, I honestly feel like, especially like with Jess or some of my really close friends, I'm like, I know what's best.
Right.
Like Mama Bear comes out, she don't know you and love you like I do. Like, I'm gonna be, that's probably how I would be. Yeah. Like I
had found myself like really being slightly hurt and upset. Although I complain sometimes about it, but I'm like,
you're like, stop coming to me, but don't.
Right? Just give me a minute. Okay?
Yeah, give me a minute. And I think that literally is, I don't take no phone calls unless it's an emergency or Alfred.
Yeah. After
9, it's just because I need to like process. Mm-hmm. And also, Tam and I deal with a lot of people. Man, every single day,
because that is our job.
Like literally last week, I had to have a one-on-one with 2 people in our project because naturally I'm a peacemaker. Mm-hmm. We are peacemakers, so it's like you gotta do it at work too.
Right? It's everywhere. Yep. It's literally everywhere
we turn.
Yeah,
we gotta be the peacemaker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like surprises me that some people aren't. You're like, I know. Here's your chance. And they're like,
because it just comes so natural, so natural to us. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, what do I do when I just need to like decompress?
I know.
And I was, it's probably not the best way.
Drink wine? I don't know.
No, well, yes, but actually, I have a habit of kind of like distancing. Like,
oh yeah, I do that too.
Like, it's not a good habit. I'm gonna be honest here. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, the last time it was just like too much for me, and I just needed a break.
Yeah,
that's actually what I do. I distance myself a little bit.
I don't think that's a bad thing because I told you.
I mean, kind of like when it's just kind of abrupt, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's not probably the best way.
But do people know that? Like, do they know?
So my friends, I think they know me well enough to know that it's not nothing personal or anything like that. Like, even just in general, like I have like seasons, if you will, where I am extremely busy.
Yeah.
And like my summertime is my free time, so they may see me more. And then as soon as my season starts, literally it's like I'm ghost. But they know me well enough to know like, it's
go time.
Right. Yeah. So, do they know? I think they know. I actually don't know. I don't know.
I think I told you this, or I can't remember, but I was over at my sister's, and her and my niece, when they get together, is very high energy. They, and I was like, I completely like shut down because I was like, I can't fix this. I tried.
Right.
I done gave them a little piece of advice, and I backed up and let them do their thing. And then my sister was like, so we probably ain't going to see you for 2 weeks, are we? You damn right. She was like, we ain't going to see you for 2 weeks. Or I said, you're not. I've checked out. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Because she already knew.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah.
Y'all hit the level. Okay? Like, I don't have nothing else to give.
But that's the best when, like, your people just know. They just know. Okay? So let me say, my friends, I appreciate y'all. Okay? Because it's not you. It's just me just needing to do what I need to do.
Y'all have used me up.
And ring the rag. There's nothing left.
It's dry as a bone. Dry as a bone. But that's true. And she even FaceTimed me the next day and knew I wasn't going to answer. I done had enough of you.
I just saw you yesterday.
And that's my sister. So she really know how I am. All right, give Jordan a minute. But when you know... You know that person. Navigate. Yeah. So, but I think it is an honor, but
yeah, I was gonna say I don't like. Yes, we're sitting here talking about like the frustrations of it all, but I mean, ultimately, I agree. I do think it's an honor. This is nothing like it's no one's like fault of any kind. You know what I mean? But everybody needs that go-to person.
Now, I will say we do need to get better at finding, like, I don't have, or maybe I do have, I just don't utilize, like, who is my go-to to vent, like my friends do.
Yeah.
I don't do a good job at.
I don't either.
I don't do a good job at it. I like keep it in.
I keep it in.
And that is and that's when the shutdown happened.
Yes.
So we probably do need to get better at, like.
I agree.
Utilizing the people that we have to vent, to just, because also I have a problem, like, I'm not going to tell them, I'm not going to give them my problems. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just dump. But people do it to me, so it's like, why not do it to them? But I have a personal issue with just calling and just blah, like just telling, all my problems to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, my best friend, like, my boyfriend, but like majority of the time,
I'm keeping it in.
Just keeping it to myself. Actually, I do remember this.
So unhealthy.
This actually might have been last week when she was already going, handling her own
debacles.
I feel like this was last week, and maybe I was calling to. I just wanted to just like vent about something, but I can always tell when she's just
burnt to a crisp.
Is running like it is empty. And so I remember like I was about to start talking about it, and I was like, no,
this ain't ready.
All right, friend, well, we'll let you go. Like, you're done.
Burnt to a crisp.
You have taken all that you can take. She was done. I already knew. I was like, I ain't gonna do it to her.
I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you, just because, we deal with people. And I mean, and half the time, we deal with the same.
Yeah.
So I already know, like, I done went through.
Yep. And
Tam probably done went through too. But I can't tell. Like, if you don't give me any energy when I'm telling you a story, she don't want to hear this. Like, all right, well, I'll let you go.
Girl. Okay. Like, really? Dang.
Ooh, the energy's on one. And I'm like, well, she probably done with her own BS.
Oh, man.
So.
Well, I mean, I guess really to sum it up, like, yes, there's the ups and downs, but I wouldn't change it.
Me neither.
I wouldn't change it for the world. That is an honor to be that person. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I do too.
It says a lot. It really does.
Yeah, because they trust you with their lives.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah, definitely an honor. But that's all I have to say about it.
That's all I got.
You ready to talk about Wendy?
Oh,
I know.
Wendy. Let's talk about it.
Ooh, go first.
Okay, so Wendy Williams, she had this four series docu-series. If you haven't seen it. And basically it was supposed to be capture like her return back to radio or TV or whatever. Unfortunately, it actually captured just some very disturbing things about her. And it was just very hard to watch. And it was
I wasn't ready.
But it was also upsetting. Like,
yes.
Like, you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world
to know
and to see that something is clearly
wrong,
mentally wrong,
mentally and physically,
and to know a lot of people know who Wendy Williams is.
Absolutely.
So you can tell this is not the Wendy that we once knew.
That's exactly right.
But the fact that they decided to keep filming, but then still release it to the public, what? Mind blown. Mind blown.
When you told me to watch the documentary, I'm thinking of the Wendy that we saw on TV.
Yeah.
When I saw Wendy, I was taken aback because I was like,
because first of all, just from first looks, she has, Graves' disease, where like it makes your eyes bulge.
Yeah.
So that alone is already like, woo, okay, right? Yeah. But then she gets to talking, and she's
sometimes here and not here.
Not here. And then like there was, I'm not gonna give it away just in case some people haven't seen it, but there was a scene where like her, I don't know what she was.
A publicist?
Yeah, took her to LA for an interview for a TV show.
Yep.
She couldn't even remember what the Oscars was. Like, it was just like...
She didn't even know where she was.
I know.
She thought... They went to Los Angeles, and she thought they were in Miami. And she said, Wendy, where are we? She said, we're in Miami. And then, I don't know, minutes later, whatever, like, then they asked her again because they were like, no, you're in Los Angeles. And my thing is, why would her publicist, and from what I know of a publicist to be, you have her best interest at heart, supposed to anyway.
Supposed to.
You took her away from her home.
Her manager didn't even know.
Just nobody knew.
Yes.
To meet with CBS or one of the major networks.
NBC, maybe?
NBC.
One of them.
Looking like she had short shorts on.
She was so frail.
Fishnets, boots.
Yep.
She didn't look presentable. And the Wendy Williams that we saw even on her show dressed more presentable than that. And to just like parade her into that meeting and humiliate her.
I guess I'm still trying to figure out, because to my understanding, the family even knew. Because at first it was like, because I feel like at one point in time, like, it was said like the family wasn't involved and the family wasn't. But before this docu-series, like the family knew that it was being released. So I'm just like, once you guys realize, okay, this is no longer the direction that it's going to be, meaning we're going to capture her return.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then what's the purpose of it?
What's the purpose? Like, what was it supposed to do?
You know, a part of me, okay, and this was before, when Tam was telling me about it, I was upset with her family because I was like, I wish my family would.
Right.
And then as I started to like see her sister on there, like towards the end, and it seemed
her
like
niece and
it was almost because her, like the state took over her, what is it called? A guardianship or whatever?
Conservator?
Yes. I don't know.
Conservatorship, something like that.
And so it's not a family member, it's some random person.
It's just the government.
It almost seems like this documentary was like a cry for help as a whole, of to say, this is what Wendy's condition is. The family's been trying to get involved. They can't because of this person. They can't. Like Britney Spears, essentially. Absolutely. And she's just out here floating in the mix of it, and nobody's able to help her.
Yep.
But towards the end, like the sister gets on there and says, like, I talked to Wendy because she was in rehab or something. Yeah. So it seemed like the beginning was very heartbreaking, but towards the end of the docuseries, it seemed like the family was able to like get her into a facility, start to really like get her together. Yeah. But the beginning, totally humiliating. And then they put out there how much she's drinking. Yes. And it's just like, it was just so invasive. I just feel like very invasive. That's really what was disturbing to me. Like, I understand Wendy Williams is not everybody's cup of tea. Right. You know what I mean? She's a human being. But she is a human being. And went through tremendous, and they do say sometimes, like, when you go through, like, with her husband and her show, I mean, it was like hit after hit after hit. Oh, yeah, your mental is all jacked up now. All jacked up. That can cause a mental break. Absolutely. How could you... I know, okay, she might have said yes, but was she really in her right mind? That's exactly right. And I kept hearing, like, well, she, like, supposedly she did sign off on some things. And how did she sign off? Yeah, probably technically. Right, her hand signed off. Probably technically, but, like, was she fully there and aware of what she was saying yes to? And that is what I don't think. This is how I know. So when like, first couple episodes came on, she had on kind of a little bit of provocative clothing. I mean, whatever. And then I think she went to rehab and came back or something. I don't know if you remember that. She was looking at the recording of one of the episodes. Oh, yeah. And she was like, and they were like, well, what do you think about it? And she was like, I can tell, like, I wasn't right because of what I was wearing. So, she's in and out of her sanity. Even down to the fact of what she had on. If you know her, she took her wig off on TV, y'all. What was it, China? With China.
Like, what the heck? Like, we know. Come on. I mean, now she will lift her wig to let you know she got a wig on, but she full on took her wig off. Like, it was just, it was a mess. It was very disturbing, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I do hope, because in my spirit, when I saw that, I said, Wendy's not going to be here for too much longer.
That's what I thought, yeah.
If they keep going down this route.
I felt the same way.
So I am glad that towards the end, she seemed to be doing better, and her family was in contact with her. She was in rehab or whatever. So,
well, I do have a request. I mean, because y'all done put all that information out there. That's right. I want to know.
What's the update?
What's the tea? How's she doing now? Okay?
Yes.
Like, how she really, because they did say, like, yeah, she sounds better. Yeah. I need to see it.
Right. I want to see that. Like, we need to put her in some positive light now. Yeah. Y'all done just ran her through the mud and showed the real ugliness of her, which was not fair to her.
Yeah.
Now we need to be on the upswing and show her in rehab or
in a positive light.
In a positive light.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, if I lose my mind, don't put me out here looking crazy.
Ain't that it?
You better ship me off to Cali somewhere. I'm serious.
Not ship me off to Cali.
Send me to a nice rehab center.
Keep me with my family.
Listen, do not let it get so bad that. And I wonder too if maybe, and I don't know Wendy's history with her family, but it could have been a case where maybe they didn't have a good relationship in the beginning, and maybe that's why she's moved to New York and didn't.
I actually don't even think that. I don't think that was the case.
I'm like, well, how do we get here?
Well, because it stemmed from the whole thing of like her son.
Oh, that's right.
Supposedly was misusing money. I think that's where it stemmed from. But I don't think it had any issues with her being close to her family, because
that makes sense.
I actually thought she was close to like her brother. Yeah. Now that was my first time ever seeing her sister. I've seen her brother before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So who knows, child? Yeah. It's just that was just a very disturbing thing to do.
It is.
So I hope she is getting better.
I do too.
And I hope they
regardless of her past or whatever,
we can actually see what she's looking like.
We didn't know. Wendy, how you doing?
Right.
So,
how you doing?
That's good. That's good. Anything else about Wendy? Bless her heart?
Nope. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got for the shoot the shit.
All right, y'all. Well, this is the end of the first episode of season 3.
Absolutely. We
are excited. We got a lot of great topics. We're going to have Greg in and out this thing.
We have a lot of panels this season. It's going to actually be a really good season.
It is.
We have some really good topics I'm really excited to really get into.
We're going to see some of Tan's friends, some of my friends, our family members. It's going to be a good thing. So come back, comment, subscribe, comment, share. Greg, what else?
Follow us on YouTube.
Yep.
Most importantly, follow us on YouTube.
Yep.
So y'all come back and see us. And until next time, no tea.
Just coffee.
Bye.
Bye.